What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo coming to you guys with another video. So, I did tell you my recent gaming video that I did just yesterday. So, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. By the way, we did become number one contender for the NXT Championship. But other than that, I told you guys that I was gonna give you my thoughts and opinions on day one. So here we go. So for the pay-per-view itself, I would say it was very solid. I mean, I feel like with the exception of the main event, I feel like the matches were predictable. Like I already knew that none of the championships were gonna change hands. But I'm gonna put it like this: besides like the WWE Championship match, right? The matches they were good, but I feel like they could have been just a little bit better. Just a teeny bit better. Now the tag team championship match, that we already knew that match was going to be good. If you've seen their previous matches, we already knew that those matches were going to be. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying. If you haven't seen their Hell in a Cell match, go check that out. If that was your first time watching that match between those two, you have not seen anything yet compared to what they did inside Hell in a Cell. So, with that being said, the next match, the Raw Women's Championship, I want to talk about that just for a second, right? We already knew Liv Morgan wasn't going to win, but I did like the fact that they had been building her up and giving her opportunities, giving her a chance to show what she can really do. I feel like the thing is, if you haven't seen Raw last night, they kind of said that they were going to have a triple threat between her, Bianca, and Doudrop. Now, I do see Bianca winning that match and going on to Royal Rumble. I can also see it, but I also can see if this is my early prediction for the Women's Royal Rumble, right? I can also see Liv Morgan winning the Royal Rumble and instead of challenging for the Raw Women's Championship, I can see her challenging for the SmackDown Women's Championship, because I think on SmackDown she can really be a standout over there, and compared to how she is on Raw, she'll be lost in the shuffle, but compared to how she can be on SmackDown, she can really be that top babyface over there. Because I think Sasha Banks is out for the time being. I think she got injured, but I think she might be back. But think about, besides that, you can still have her be like that top 3 babyface over there. Because I don't think on Raw she will flourish very well. Because I feel like when you have Asuka come back, Bayley come back, when you have Lacey Evans come back, Alexa Bliss come back, all these women come back, she will definitely be lost in the shuffle, because you're going to have Alexa Bliss on Raw. You're going to have Asuka on Raw. I don't know. I think you're going to have Bayley be on SmackDown. I don't know where Lacey Evans is going to go, but I do think that, she could do much better over on SmackDown than she can do on Raw. So I would like to see that. And plus, there's a story there between Liv Morgan and Charlotte, who's the current SmackDown Women's Champion right now. There's a story there. Because think about it, if you look back into 2019, when she lost to Charlotte, she said when she came back, she was going to be a different Liv Morgan. And I feel like if you look at the story right there, she was the reason for Liv Morgan's transformation. So you can have that story play into that feud and have her overcome one of the biggest odds in WWE's women's division, being Charlotte Flair. And you can have a huge pop, because no one would bet against her compared to how people was with her with Becky Lynch, because she's like that heel that everybody loves. But Charlotte, it's different, so she would easily get all the cheers for sure. With that being said, that was kind of like my little thought and opinion on that. The WWE Championship match. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now I understand that you wanted, with the recent story breaking out about Roman's health. I wish him the best. Hopefully he gets better and comes back better and stronger than ever. He will overcome for sure. Here's the thing. I understand that with that happening, you kind of put you in a position to you kind of question what to do. I understand that. And I understand that you want to have Brock Lesnar work. But here's the thing. If you wanted to have him work, you could have him put it in a squash match against someone else, or you could have had him attack the Usos, or if you want to put him in the Fatal 5-Way, that's fine. But you didn't have to have him win the WWE Championship. Now, in the match itself, I love the stare down between him and Bobby Lashley. We've all been wanting to see that happen. I lost my mind when I seen that stare down. He literally speared this man through the barricade, and then he put him in the hurler, almost making him tap before Biggie made the save. And then Biggie tried to do the big ending on Brock, and Brock reversed and hit him with the F5 and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Now he's WWE champion. And then if you looked at Raw last night, I think he said that Paul Heyman was basically the reason for him being that championship match. Which, if that's plays into the story of like how everything plays out with him and Roman, I can definitely see uh Roman being the babyface when he comes back compared to like how it was when he left, when he was the heel and Brock was more like the babyface, right? I feel like in this feud going forward, I can see the role being reversed because people, even though Roman's a heel, but he's definitely getting cheers everywhere he goes, whether if it's on SmackDown, on pay-per-views, on live events, he is getting cheers wherever he goes. And I feel like at some point you kind of want to turn him into a babyface, but I don't know just yet. But in the sake of this feud, I can see him being a babyface. But like long term, I don't see it. So, and the thing with the WWE Championship, right? We're tired of like seeing Brock Lesnar, and it's upsetting because like WWE keeps relying on these part timers to come in instead of relying on the talent that they have right now. You have people on your rosters who are just waiting for that opportunity, but yet you still revert back to nostalgia, going after people who've been with the company, succeeded, and done what they've needed to do, and they left, and they keep bringing them back to be in these high-profile feuds that these other superstars that can desperately benefit from. And you're just not doing that. You have people on SmackDown like Ricochet, Cesaro. These two guys can literally be at that top level to face Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, but you don't book them correctly. So that puts you in a position because you can't rely on Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, John Cena, Undertaker. You can't rely on these people forever. When they can't go anymore, what are you going to do next? You can't. You need to start building up stars to the point where people can actually get invested and give them good booking, give them good stories. How are you expect us as W fans to get invested in your product if you're giving us reasons not to care? You literally did this with Keith Lee, Karrion Kross. These guys could have been the next guy in the company, but what did you do? You had these guys who had a lot of promise in NXT, and as soon as they got a main roster, you just cut the legs from underneath them and left them by the wayside, and now they're released. And we all know when they go to their AEW or any other company, they are going to be certified main eventers. Off of that, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Certified main eventers. And that's going to put you in a position right now to the point where it's going to back you into a corner. At one point in time, you're going to be backed into a corner and you're not going to know what to do and what you're going to do. The question is, what do you do next? Do you just keep relying on part-timers, or you actually give time to your younger talent to develop, to get better, to actually be at that main event level? Because think, if I'm looking at the current roster right now, I'm looking at people who I can really believe be the next guy in the company. Look at these are some people I'm gonna name out. Dominic, he's young. He is 20 in his 20s. He has a lot of promise. If you give him enough time, he can actually be a huge main eventer at some point. Austin Theory, he might be a heel. He might be doing his things with Vince McMahon, but this guy has a lot of promise. This guy can actually go in the ring. You see him in NXT. He has a lot to offer. Same can be said for Ricochet. He's 33. He can do things that no one else can. If you look at his indie work, this man was literally picking up Keith Lee, picking up Drew McIntyre. For a person like him to do that, you should be pushing this guy, pushing him to the moon, giving him a WWE Championship match, giving him a Universal Championship match at some point, letting him even win the championship. Even though it might not be a long reign, but still give him that win. I definitely want to see him get booked properly to finally get to see the dream match that I've been wanting to see. Ricochet versus Roman Reigns. A huge David versus Goliath story time in the telling. You know? But it's not going to happen if you keep relying on part-timers all the time to come in and just take all the opportunities away from the younger people who've working their butts off day in and day out to get better. And it's not gonna they can't show that to the WWE universe because no one is gonna get to see them. Something's gonna have to change, WWE. You can't just keep doing this over and over and over and expecting fans to keep just sitting and being okay with that. So with that being said, those are my thoughts and opinions. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below, what do you think of the Day 1 pay-per-view? What did you like? What did you didn't like? What do you think should happen next with certain superstars that were on the card? And I will see you guys in the next video.